In this case, it is appropriate to start off with a peace greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Let me go ahead and give some shouts out to people I just haven't heard from in a while, haven't talked to in a while. There have been no recent cash apps in the last few days, so this is not about that. This is just folks I just haven't been able to, I haven't heard from in a long time, and it's not because I ain't cool with you, it's because I'm just busy. There's a lot going on. A lot at work and personally. My son is actually in discussions with a young lady and her father. Her extended relatives who know my son already do approve of him. Now her dad has to make the final say so along with her. The final decision in our religion is up to the lady and her father, or the lady and her granddad, or the lady and her brother, or the lady and her uncle. The lady and some male adult member Muslim of the family are the ones who make the final decisions. So there's accountability in who the lady chooses still. Muslim women ain't off the hook when it comes to that, unless they really were forced, which usually means some man in the family usurped her role and her rights. And many scholars will say that there is one situation in which that's an okay thing to do. One, and that doesn't always apply. Well, we're not aware of that being the case this time. So, dad's like, yes, I approve. And she's like, I don't want to. Then, you know what? There's only one way the dad can say, and my son would have the right to say, look, if she don't want to and you say, yeah, I need to know why that's okay for me to do. My son would have the right to say that. In which case, dad would have to tell him, look, this is the case. She got needs, but she picky. And my son could then say, wait, that's it? Just, okay, well, but if I'm not her type, we ain't doing that still. But that's another story for another day. Right now, things are going well, as far as I know. He and I are prepared if the family, in other words, if her dad and she say, yes, let's go, let's tie this knot. Or if they say, nah, thank you, no, it's all right. We're prepared equally. We're equally prepared either way. I'm actually more prepared than my son is, and he don't know it. There are other options. He's not aware of it. Now, one is in the States, and I had to tell a dude that one dude asked me about my son. I had to say to him, hold up, bro. What? You talking about somebody that lives in the U.S.? What the hell, man? My son caught a flight. He bought the ticket himself. Worked, saved up, caught a flight. With some friends, of course, went over there, and you're going to tell me to send him back. What, man? What? No, bro. Belly of the beast. But this brings me to something else. The other SYSB man that has the merchandise, the designs. I'm going to find out if he actually left the States already or not. But I know that he's thinking as well about how do I make it abroad. So he offered the merchandise. And the thing is this. What I'm asking you knuckleheads to do, listening, and I say knuckleheads affectionately, I call my good students that, what I'm asking y'all to do is for a good reason. I'm not going to make anything from the sale of that merchandise. I am pushing the merchandise not because I'm going to make any money. Y'all have been supporting me through Cash App, and I appreciate that. And it's not really me per se, but it's my employees in Southeast Asia. Actually I think about 3 countries away from where my son is. Y'all are supporting my employees while the business ain't making money. I cover the other expenses, plus whatever is not covered from what you all send for the employees too. But you've done this out of your own generosity. So I'm not in a position to say, oh, hey, look, buy this merchandise because I'm getting a cut. Even though there's designs with Black Mind on it. That's there. I didn't know that. He did this as a tribute to me. I didn't know about that. I found out accidentally. He didn't even tell me he did it. And until there's evidence of this, I don't think he was just trying to profit from my name and not tell me anything about that. I don't think that's what the case was. But I'm not asking you to get the merchandise that says Black Mind on it. I'm asking you to get the merchandise that says Passport Bros and SYSBM. I'm asking you to get that merchandise. Maybe it's a coffee mug, but preferably something you can wear. And here's why I'm pushing this like I am. Now, I talked about this before. I'm pushing this like I am because, frankly, you all, recognizability is important, and take this coming from a racially ambiguous looking black man. Or black admixed if you don't want to call me black. Either one. Point is, a leopard but ain't got no spots. Take this coming from such. Here in Saudi, you got black folks. They are from Saudi. They are from Sudan. They are Saudis with Sudanese ancestry. They are Saudis with Nigerian ancestry, Chad ancestry. You have such. You have some of mixed black ancestry, and they share the same family tribal names as non-black Saudis, but they black. And when any of them see each other, default, they are supposed to look. We are supposed to look at each other, throw their head up, say Assalamu alaikum. Now, if we're both different genders, then it's understood. The greeting's understood. You just bow your head, look down, look polite. That's it. But you do not, under any case, have to give the greeting to someone of the opposite gender, because you can say just, Assalamu alaikum and keep it going. That's obviously not flirting, but they may be, they may think you're trying to flirt. Maybe. But, same gender, you see each other, you black, you're supposed to throw the head nod. Assalamu alaikum. You're supposed to do that. This is understood. Does that sound familiar? I mean, it's like being in the States where that's concerned. You're supposed to throw your head up, throw your head back, Assalamu alaikum. You're supposed to do that. It's understood. Well, guess what? Same thing here. I pass by some of us every day. Sometimes we see each other, and I've learned, if we see each other at the same time, then I throw the head back up. I say, Assalamu alaikum, blood. What's good? Stuff like that. If they're fluent English speakers, and then they can hear the darkness. Sometimes they think this is just one of those American guys that's real heavy in the black culture. Non-black Americans, they think. Or they think, okay, maybe they don't really think that I'm a Caucasian per se, but they may think that, okay, well, this is one of those Latin American guys, American citizen. He's over here teaching English and he's heavy in the black culture. No. I'm a black man. Or for those who don't want to say black, then I'm a black admixed man. But the point is, I actually got African blood. And like I said, black Western women did not want me to know about the proof that they knew about, some of them, that I had it. But my wife spilled the beans. I was like, okay, I didn't think so, but thank you. So I'm saying this to say and to tell you to look. Recognizability is everything. Now, being recognizably black in the West can be for you or against you. I understand, because in the black communities of the West, or the black zip codes of the West, dysfunction is not in everybody, but it's everywhere. Most of the people aren't dysfunctional, but the dysfunction is always around the corner. Because the dysfunctional folks could be a minority, but they're everywhere. They're in everybody's face. I mean, it's like they say, predators aren't trying to limit the number of victims, so a few predators are enough. I mean, just think about it. If I roll into any neighborhood in North America and I just turn loose just two tigers, just turn them loose. Then I call the news agency and I say, look, I just let these two tigers go in the city. For one, it's not going to be just the people in that zip code. It's going to be the people in that city that are all going to be on the lookout, because it only takes two to predate upon a bunch of people. Same thing in our communities, poor zip codes. So I understand why being recognizable sometimes y'all may think, I wish sometimes that we didn't always know the other one was, because there's too much dysfunction, too much begging, too much, man, hook me up, too much of that. I get it. But what I wanted to tell you is that here, it's not like that. Abroad, it's not necessarily that way. I mean, think about it. Southeast Asia, you got black Americans, black Africans. You got us. We see each other. We give each other the nod. What's good, man? That's how we do it. And so, you know about that. That's when you see each other. But, there's also the number of black men that are just there working, and they don't have any sympathy with Passport bros, SYSBM. There are those who don't know anything about it. They just there for other reasons. It's not wrong, but you can't expect them to have the same understanding. But let's say that some of you are like, well, I don't really need that. No, hold on. Let me tell you why. Let's say you have a souvenir passport wallet, like you got the Wakanda souvenir passport wallets. Now, let's say you got a SYSBM souvenir passport wallet, or you got the t-shirt on. And the best places to wear them, of course, are going to be either in any airport or train station, or when you are abroad, especially when you're out and about at leisure. See, everybody ain't on YouTube. So BMT, cool. BMT is known if you watch YouTube. I swear. So you go to Thailand, you see him on the street, like, hey, what's good, man? Look, I've been looking for you. Okay, fine. Richie Mack, the travel OG. You go to Japan, Passport OG, if you see him. If you see him. But let's say that you're of one of these mindsets, one of these acronyms or endorsements in your decisions. And I'm not talking about them like they're gangs, but let's say that you were there and you're of one of these mindsets. You agree with Richie Mack, or you agree with someone that's SYSBM, like me. Let's say that happens. That's why you're there. But you see a bunch of brothers, or you see a few in the airport or train station, but you don't know why they're there. You're glad to see them. You give them the head nod. Being black abroad is oftentimes better than being black in a nation in which we're just downtrodden. Being recognizably black certainly is. But that don't mean that everybody's chopping it up. But when you are, let's say you're a passport bro, you got the t-shirt on, and there's a dude over there with the sweater on that says SYSBM. Now you know that you're both BMPT. You see him, he sees you, you see him see you, you throw the head back, what's good, bruh? Later on, y'all chop it up. Like, man, what's your story, bruh? I see the endorsement you got. You wearing the merchandise. What's your story? Man, bruh, it was, wasn't me, man. It was my brother. I mean, he really going through it, bruh. And I was just like, I started looking at like what my options were going to be for family and everything. And I mean, I'm doing well, man, but how am I going to have a family with that? It's going to go to nobody. And it's like, if I don't want to go through what my brother went through, then I can't stay there, because they all going to do the same thing. So I can set up business, livelihood, and a family over here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going there. I'm on my way over here. Or I've been here for a few years. Take your pick, but you trade stories. Now, let's say that you recognize each other like this, right? What does this do? This allows us not only to share information more gainfully with each other, which social media facilitates anyway and quite well, but this allows us to do so at a more personal level. One other thing that it does is that it increases your chances that you get to meet some of these folks you may want to meet. It increases your chances you get to meet someone like Richie Mack. It increases your chances that you get to meet someone like BMT, if that's what you're looking to do, be it in Colombia or from Southeast Asia. It increases your chances that you get to meet someone that can at least show you around Pattaya, if that's where you settle. If you ask by SBM, quite a few of us are Muslim. Shout out to Dwight Hayes. Shout out to Based Muslim. And whatever his endorsement is, shout out to the Based Pluto too. I'm sorry, gentlemen, and also to Abdullah bin Bobby and to Abdullah Amriki. Shouts out to you, gentlemen. But and if any of you has any news on Dwight Hayes, please update me. I hope he's all right, but I haven't. No one I know has heard anything for a few months, and I've noticed that. I'm kind of worried, actually. But SYSBM has actually more Muslims involved in it. So let's say SYSBM, you got the t-shirt on, you in the airport. You got to change your clothes and your little carry-on just in case. And then when you do have to change, you got that next t-shirt. And when you come out the airport and you see that there's some brothers being picked up and one of them sees your t-shirt, he said, hey man, I see this, bro. SYSBM. So did you just get here? Just got in. Do you know this place well? No, not yet. Okay, you know what? Listen, it's my number. This my Telegram or my WhatsApp. When you get you a phone number, if you didn't already, you tell me what it is. What's your name? All right, check this out. Well, Rick, yeah, I'm Don. When you get it, you hit us up. There's several of us out here. You ain't by yourself, man, and we're gonna show you the ropes. We're gonna make it. Your adjustment is now going to be a lot easier so long as you do what I ask. It's good to meet you, man. You see, now all of a sudden, maybe you had a business plan, but now no matter how many people you did know, it got easier. Right there. They were being picked up maybe by their wives, a few of them, 2 of them, I don't know. That's what happens there. And you're like, man, this is great. So then you go. You go to wherever you're going to stay at first. You settle in, get you a number if you didn't have one already. You message them. Hey, what's good? It's Rick. Met me at the airport. I appreciate you reaching out like that, bro. That was real nice of you. And let's say you're Muslim. So you aren't looking to have girlfriends anyway. Well, your wives, hopefully, will also be your girlfriends, like mine is mine. My wife is my girlfriend. I want that for you. I want that for my son. Whether he marries the lady with whom he is now in discussion along with her father, or he marries someone else, or both, whichever the case, I want him to be their boyfriend and for them to be his girlfriend or girlfriends. That's what I'm looking for. I believe that romance belongs in a marriage. My parents had that. I got it now. Alhamdulillah. I want this for you gentlemen, but the thing is, let's say you're Muslim, and that's what a romance is. It's in a marriage. So you ain't gonna be just having girlfriends and that sort of thing, but you're probably going to be SYSBM. You land somewhere like maybe southern Thailand. Maybe you land in Bangkok, catch a domestic flight or train ride or something to the south of Thailand. You get out the train station, you got the shirt on. Maybe there's some Muslim brothers living there. Maybe you bump into Dwight Hayes. Find out you're both SYSBM and Muslim, and he puts you on to the rest. Because they got a network. I'm not that deep into it, but I know it's there. If I'm not mistaken, they even have a few of them with resources set aside to help each other. If I'm not mistaken. I haven't been able to prove or disprove it, but I did hear about it. And so I want you I want y'all to know about that and to experience this. But you see, recognizability, in order to tap in all of these things, recognizability will be important. I can't do that. I can have friends from amongst my people here, but I can't get into the community here like that. See, when I was hanging out once in the last city in which I lived, kind of, medium-sized city, when I was there, mosque right behind the corner from my apartment at that time. Went there, several northern Nigerians living around me in the same neighborhood. One of my closest friend, a northerner from Gusau, which is the capital of Zamfara state. Shouts out to all the brothers from Gusau and Zamfara and Kaduna and Kano, both the capitals and the states with these same names: Borno, Adamawa, Jos, Plateau State. Shouts out. He was there. We were praying. We finished the prayer. And we saw a new brother there. I mean, brothers, and he was black brother. And I could tell from the thobe he was from Sudan. But you know what? Sometimes Nigerians and Sudanese get mistaken for each other. Usually it's a Nigerian being mistaken for a Sudanese. But the languages, of course, are different. And the funny thing was, my Nigerian buddy reached out to him and said, "Assalamu alaikum, you from Nigeria?" And the man said, I don't speak English. So I had to translate. Now they were chopping it. They were hitting it off. They were chopping it up. I was a translator. So you got these two leopards talking. It's the leopard with no spots that's translating between two leopards. It looked strange to outsiders. But it wasn't two leopards, it was three. It's just one is unspotted. But the melanin spoke to them first, and they even said this, I know because I was translating. One said, because of your color, I was thinking that you from Nigeria. And the other one said, you know, because of your color, I thought you were from Sudan. And Sudanese and Nigerians, I mean northern Nigerians, they tend to get along well. They don't have a problem with each other. Northern Nigerians. They get along fine with Sudanese. Nigerians and Sudanese in general don't tend to have issues. They study in each other's countries, that sort of thing. When the fighting broke out, there were many Nigerian students that were repatriated back to Nigeria because of the fight. And I hope it's over in Sudan soon. And even now, with the fighting being the case, a lot of the crime in Sudan is related to hunger. It's not related, I'm talking not the political violence, but the crime is just related to the loss of infrastructure. And people are mostly just, when they steal now, they're stealing food out of hunger. Sudanese have a reputation for being very trustworthy. People are, they're breaking into empty homes where there's all this furniture and stuff, and they're leaving everything valuable except food. They're just looking for food. Somebody told me about that last summer. But getting back to this, you see that recognizability is important, and I've seen the necessity of it. There is a solidarity with black folks here. They're not all the same nationality here. All the black folks ain't all from one country. Ain't no Wakanda in real life, we know that. But the black Saudi and the black Sudanese, that's kind of redundant to say black Sudanese, and the Nigerian have a solidarity, the Chadian have a solidarity. Throw a Tanzanian in there, and if you can communicate with them, there's that solidarity that's there. It's there. Some of y'all want to talk about black unity. Man, look, I see it here. And nobody's been rude to me or told me get lost, light bright or nothing. Nothing like some of the stuff I've heard in the States as a kid growing up. Nothing like that. But I see it. I can see it from the inside out and from the outside in. It's there because of the recognizability. But see, the black manosphere, and by extension, the BMPTs that come out of the black manosphere, black male passport travelers, are escaping the dysfunction of the Black West, of the gynocracies and the hyenocracies of the West, the American one, the Bahamian one, getting away from that. And we're going to be joined by some brothers from the continent too. They got one brother been hitting me up telling me about some stuff going on in Angola. He sees it in Angola, in Luanda. Shouts out to you, Igor. He's telling me about it. And it's in the comments. I'm not going to tell all his business. He wrote about it in the comments. I'll let you read it. But the point is, we're going to be joined by brothers from the continent soon in bigger numbers. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Some of you might be like, man, this ain't about them. No, bro. Understand, like I said in the last upload, Keisha in the States and in the UK, and especially the UK, because a lot of them come from African parents. Keisha in the States and the UK and Canada and the Bahamas are working to inwardize and hyenize the sisters back on the continent. And like I said, they're not meeting with resistance per se. They're meeting, if they got an umbrella mafia agenda under that, then that's being rejected. But the feminism and the misandry, well, the feminism is not being rejected and the misandry is coming with it. Next, it's going to be some of that scissoring, if you will. They're pushing that on the continent. The continent could go either way, good or bad, but we understand that the continent is going the right way when it comes to that rainbow umbrella stuff, but it ain't going the right way when it comes to feminism. You got a continental sister going in on Austin Holloman. Got all these views on her channels, got 200 subscribers last time I checked half a year ago. Talking about Austin Holloman is a control freak. Boy, look at here. They don't understand the damage that's going to do. You got young brothers right now. Young brothers, they kids. And the reason they ain't going to look for no black woman is going to be because of their attitude. But as it spreads to the continent too, they're going to then start saying, I ain't looking for no black woman because they black, because all black women do the same thing. That's what's going to happen. So the whole dilution of the race that sisters have been fearing, they're going to make come true if they succeed in spreading this to the continent, and they are succeeding so far in the big cities. It's happening. It's going on. I don't want that, but that's what's going on. Meanwhile, my son is talking to a feminine, demure lady with a somewhat dark hue in Asia. That's what's going on right now. With an education, but not seeming to have much of the attitude. I'm looking and thinking to myself, man, shuck this fit. Look what you brothers got to go through for nothing, for no mother cuss word reason at all. You ain't done nothing to deserve this. They just coming at you with the foolishness and the effort because they want to. Like it's your job to just always be patient with the foolishness. You are leaving this dysfunction that is important because that which has held us back, a dysfunctional culture and a dysfunctional hyenocracy behind this culture, sexually rewarding this dysfunctional culture and insisting on this dysfunctional culture, we are now abandoning. It is good to be recognizably black when you are abroad, traveling. That does speak volumes, believe me, you have that. But also the mindset of the SYSBM, the Passport Bro, the Passport Gang, the IBMOR, gentlemen, the Black Manosphere mindset, the BMPT mindset needs to be recognizable. And that is not something that you can see by a melanin count and a nose width or a lip fullness or the strength of one's strands of hair. That you're going to have to show. So when I push this merchandise to you, this is not me doing this for my own profit. I don't expect a profit from this. Maybe indirectly, but not directly, certainly. And I don't expect a profit from it indirectly. I'm not that optimistic about life. I expect you to profit. Small purchases. Young brother gets an even trade, gets the benefit. And you get the benefit. That's what I'm looking for. You see, we rock that Echo wear with the rhino symbol on it. I remember that Echo. Fubu, we rocked that. We did it. You saw these things everywhere. Tommy Hilfiger rocked that too. We were rocking all this stuff. You saw it all over. You could travel abroad and you would have seen it too. I know this. I saw it myself. So what I'm saying to you is that you can rock this. You can rock this for a reason. It is a message. Recognizability is important. Believe me, I know. I don't have it. So I know how important it is. Now I use my unrecognizability at times. I do use it. But I understand the importance of the recognizability as well. I've seen it. I've been shut out before. And it wasn't because of malice. It wasn't anything I did. And it wasn't because they just, it was just simply, you know what, they were looking out for themselves. They were protecting themselves. Why is this unspotted cat sitting up here amongst the leopards? That's what it was. No harm. They thought, did this guy get lost? You don't have to face that. But I also want you to have some certainty, because you see, if you have some of these things on and somebody don't know what it means, they just don't know. To fly under their radar anyway. You may see a brother, you got that little t-shirt on, but he ain't paying attention. He don't know what that is. But then somebody recognizes it. Now let's say that you just see another black man somewhere, somebody's plane, somebody's airport, or on the plane. Let's say you see that. You see him. He sees you, y'all only two brothers around, y'all see each other, y'all give each other the head nod. What's good, bro? What's happening? That's it. Okay, cool. Fine. Now, y'all chopping it up, but it ain't about BMPTs, nothing like that. Maybe you want to broach that subject with him, but he doesn't, you're not sure. Maybe you don't care. The next thing that happens is this. Let's say you got the t-shirt on still. He doesn't know what it means, so he ain't saying, it's under his radar. He's focused on listening to you, you listening to him. Another brother walks by. Now, he's got on The Passport Bros t-shirt. You got SYSBM. You look at him, you look at his shirt. He looks at you, looks at your shirt. You throw the head nod up. What's good, traveler? And he says, yeah, what's happening, traveler? Y'all hit it off. The brother you first met is like, y'all met each other before? And you're like, not really, but we know what we got in common. This is our first meeting, but you could say that we have some of the same bosses. Well, what's that about? Well, the thing is, and all you got to do is say to this other guy with the other BMPT right there, listen, all you got to say is, the thing is, we are both leaving the dysfunction, or have left the dysfunction of our people back in the States. If the guy you met's from the States, maybe he's from the Bahamas, you're like, we leaving the dysfunction of our people back in the new world. We're starting a new community for us. And he's like, wait a minute, word? Yes. Yeah, imagine a black community where you got the same stability any other group of people have. Imagine that, and we're trading valuable skills with each other so that we can remain employable and fight poverty before it even starts. He's like, whoa, let me in on that right there. All you got to do then is give him a hashtag. SYSBM or Passport Bros or from the bottom of my black heart or from the depths of my black mind. Okay, that's a little selfish on my part, but all you got to do is, hell, BMPT. You can make that a hashtag. I can't, but you can. Black male passport travelers, black manosphere. Just, you can even say to them, hey man, listen, if you open up your YouTube browser right now, can I type something in for you? Yeah, man. All right. I'll let you see what I'm typing in. You type in black manosphere. It's saved in his search history. And just be like, when you got time, you look into this. You can give him a bunch of them. And now, at this point, it's grown by one. One other leaving the dysfunction of the gynocracy. He was already traveling, but then now he has a higher purpose, which is to leave evil dysfunction behind and not allow Boom Shika and Ratchet Isha with the head rolling and the eye rolling and the talk to the hand and all that attitude to run stuff anymore. See, we didn't know we had an option. Think about it. Black manosphere is an option that black men have needed for a long mother cuss for a time. And the results of the black manosphere, the BMPT options you got. I'm using BMPT as an umbrella acronym, but the BMPT options, which are IBMOR, Passport Bros, Passport Gang, SYSBM, maybe some others I don't know about. Y'all can tell me. I'm listening. But that's what we got. These are the ones I know about, and what they're doing is exactly what we black men should have been doing a long time ago. What is the reason, when you think about it, what is the reason the black men remain stuck on North America? Everything that keeps black men stuck on the new world where there is dysfunction, not just North America either, but where there is dysfunction, everything that keeps the black man stuck there has to do with some gynocrats. Has to. Hell, Omar Ifatunde Ungawa Johnson said he would have been back home if he didn't have to take care of his mom. Say, bruh, tell your mama to get herself ready to go home. You tell her. You're like, look, mom, it's not even that expensive to live over there. I'm too old and set in my way. Okay, mom, so you stuck on a plantation. That's what you're saying. All right, well then, when you're ready to come see me, come see me. Tell you what, mom, I'm going, all right? I'm leaving. When you're ready to visit me, you let me know in advance. I'll save up for a few months, get you a ticket, you come visit, see if you like it. Boy, look, if his mom is really about that, fist in the air, black power stuff, and she's really about that, then she will visit, and depending on where she goes, she probably won't want to go back stateside. It just depends on where you go. It's a continent. That's all. It depends on where you go. Now, if you're going to, if you're going to Japonica, Gambia, that's a village. It's a famous village, but it's a village. I don't think they have an airport. Yeah, you probably can't stay there, but go to Banjul. I bet you'll be all right. Do that. Check out Accra. Hell, at this point, Monrovia is probably livable. You got enough money saved up. You see, the point I'm making is that when you think about what has kept brothers there, it has been, and I ain't even gonna say it's been black women. No. It's been specifically dysfunctional gynocrats and hyenas. I can't get no weave over there, even though you get weave there. That's a problem, actually. What it really comes down to is what the African-American expat women are dealing with in Ghana. I can't get my way every time I want it. That's really what's going on. So they're looking at you like, well, why do you have all this strong will and all this attitude, man? And quiet, this is kept. They're looking at some of them American sisters and saying, B word, you are infecting the Ghanaian women with that attitude. You know what? You fit the guck out. I'm letting you know there's gonna come a time when some of them brothers start either slapping them American women more than what they're doing, or they just say, oh, okay, well, you know what? Then we're gonna go, you're gonna infect the women here. Guess what? We are going to go where the American brothers are going. They'll say that. They'll say, okay, well, you're gonna have this attitude, fine. We'll save up a little money, we'll be in Cambodia. And I'm gonna tell you the effects. One of the effects, I mentioned that there are some effects that are permanent in my mind. Some of them are still growing, actually. One of the effects is that I saw a video clip where a Nigerian and a Filipino were talking. A Nigerian woman and a Filipino were talking, and she was explaining to the Filipino what the word nyash means. And I think the Filipino was getting at, if I'm not mistaken, she was probably getting at it having another meaning in whichever language she spoke back from the Philippines. But I realized that because of the way the American sisters have behaved, American sisters, and because of the way that Southern Nigerian women have imitated them with the attitude that, you know what, I don't want. I looked and I said that pregnant Filipino woman with no booty would have a better shot with me than the Southern Nigerian woman to whom she was talking. Because the Southern Nigerian woman was wearing something that was too tight. She's not in bad shape. It was just too tight. Like, why are you gonna wear that in public with a camera on? Kind of attention you looking for. The Filipino woman, though I think she was pregnant, she had on a dress that was more modest. And she turned around, wasn't no backside. I said, you know what? That's still a woman right there. If they were the last two in the world, if they were the last two ladies in the world and I was the last dude in the world, that Southern Nigerian would be the single one. I wouldn't even be willing to share. I mean, I wouldn't, in other words, the Filipino would not even have to share. That's what I should say. In that scenario, of course, there'd be no sharing from me, but, the Panay would not have to share. I'd be like, look, you know what? You actually have not been soiled by your compatriots. Don't act like her, y'all good. You'll get this. I can't sit up and say this about the Southern Nigerian. And the thing is, it was a short clip. I didn't really get to know a whole lot about either one of them. But this is one of the effects of this gender war on me. I can't believe that this is happening, but I am actually still learning at my age when my brain is pretty much fully formed. I am being reconditioned from the information that I'm getting. You brothers got to understand. A lot of this is because of where I am, too. Because I have seen how much better it can be, which means I have seen how bad that the Western sisters have insisted on keeping it. And you suffering this. And in order to speed up the process of the abandonment, which is good enough at that right now, the pattern is good, but in order to speed up that process of abandonment, we need to go ahead and make ourselves recognizable to each other, because there are going to be some brothers that learn about this not through YouTube. And that's important. There are going to be some brothers that are already traveling for other reasons, but they don't know about this reason of traveling, the state traveling. What happens when they're traveling for work and then they retire, they don't have to travel no more. They're going to sit up and stay stateside, with the gynocracy and the hyenocracy. What they going to tell their sons and their nephews? Because they ain't going to know. It will have never occurred to them, you know what? Ditch the witch And that was me being nice. It never occurred to them, ditch the witch, replace her with somebody that is nicer and will honor you more if you treat her well, and start your life there. Never occurred to them. What happens when it does? You got brothers right now, man. You got brothers right now going through it. You got brothers been married for well over a decade. Got brothers been married since early 2000s, right? And these brothers, as they have been married these lengths of time, they've been married to sisters from the West. They have watched these sisters become progressively worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. They've watched them change personalities. You don't hear about brothers saying, well, you know, she was a real bitch when we got married, but now she's an angel. You never hear about that kind of change. You don't hear that. You hear women saying, well, you know, my husband's gotten better about listening and communicating and this. You hear that sort of thing. You don't hear brothers be like, man, she was a bitch when I met her, but she's nice now. No, it's always, she was nice when I met her. Friend of mine, actually. Shouts out to him. You know who you are, bro. And that reminds me, by the way, some of you, if you have crypto, I do take XRP at this point. Please and thank you. Appreciate that. Because I say that because it's cheap. That's one of the reasons I mention it. And it's very efficient on the network. So yeah, if some of you are like, man, you know, I got crypto. Hey, please send me some XRP. Just whatever little spare change you can afford. That's fine with me. But the point I'm making is, you got some dudes that, like my friend who married and had to tell his wife to stop apologizing all the time when they first got married. It was like, you're apologizing again. Why do you keep apologizing? You don't need to apologize. You weren't even wrong in that case. Why are you apologizing? He had to tell her this. Now she's never wrong no matter what she does. Never, under any circumstance. Trying to sneak through his phone, she ain't wrong. She never owes an apology. They finally split. So he had to deal with a woman whose personality changed for the worse, to the point that without actually being born a narcissist, or typically, you know the way they're generally diagnosed, like where you had it from a young age stuff. You're watching women develop a disorder that previously would have had to be diagnosed, and they would have said, well, they are when they're this way, they're always like that. You're watching people develop a disorder so bad that previously they would say that you had to be wired that way from birth. You couldn't learn it. You couldn't pick it up. And now they're sitting up and saying these women are picking up, if not the whole disorder, they're picking up the traits by which the disorder is identified. Become a narcissist. Or picking up the personality traits. You are watching this happen in real time. In order to speed up the process of their abandonment, and to make sure that our youth have better options, it's going to be up to us to accelerate the process of us leaving. Although all of us ain't going to do it, and there are plans we got to make for those that are still there in the West, we still want to accelerate that process so that we can maximize the number of brothers that do get out and stay out. Recognizability at this stage of the game is very important. Visual recognizability. I've gone on for almost 45 minutes. Thank you for being patient with me, and I mean it from the bottom of my black heart and the depths of my black mind when I say thank you. And I mean it from the bottom of my black heart and the depths of my black mind when I say that I hope that this has helped. Go find that link. Get you some. Be recognizable to each other. And if you know somebody that's in on it, somebody that's now a new passport bro or a new SYSBM, but they ain't left yet, but you know they got their passport, then what you do is go ahead and get one of those things for him as a gift. Say, hey man, look, I bought you something for you to wear on the day that you leave. I bought you something to wear on your first day in your new country. Do that. I say that because years ago, a friend of mine from Liberia said he bought me a shirt from back home. clearly African design on it. And he said, the day you go back home to the continent, we were in Atlanta at the time, but he knew I was homesick. He said, the day you go back home to the continent, wear this shirt. This is for you to wear your first day back. I couldn't find that shirt when I went to South Africa for my first time. Morocco doesn't count. I wish I could have. I looked for it and it got lost in the process of moving. That's why I don't have it anymore. But I'm saying to you that we all know someone that could use one. Get that, get recognizable. And thank you for flying again with me on Jet Black Airways, where jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.